Today now about absentee ballot drop boxes. Wisconsin Elections Commission approved a new set of practices to make sure new unstaffed drop boxes will be secure. It comes just over a month ahead of the August primary and under 4 months until the presidential election. Today's guidelines will now be distributed to the more than 1,800 local officials who administer elections here in the state. Plans also encourage clerks to communicate to voters the locations of those drop boxes and when the last ballot retrieval date will be. The guidance comes after last week's ruling from the Wisconsin Supreme Court allowing the use of unstaffed drop box locations.